Okay, YouTube. This is my first video. I'm gonna be ripping my Minute Mount 2 apart for a good cleanup, and I'm having problems when the plow turns to the left. It has absolutely no power. It's dragging. So where I am right now, I'm just popping the covers off. So this was right here. Just took that off. As you can see, I was neglecting it and letting it sit in the yard, so she's got some rust on her, and I guess it's good to do a cleanup. So right now, so far all I did was drain the oil out, take that cover off. So there is a Allen key. Let's see here, number 7. So it's a number 7 right over here underneath. It's the nope, sorry, not a 7. It's a 6. So it's a number 6 right underneath here on an Allen. So just pop that off. I used one of these, which is actually great. It's a former funnel. Just put it like that. Drain it out. Fluid color didn't look too bad actually, but haven't done anything to her probably in 2 to 3 years. So the only other thing I did, as you can see, I marked the hose lines right there. So just 1, 2, and 3. Now we're gonna pop those off. Pop these off. Loosen up the pump and just lift it completely out and clean her up. Open her up and see what we're dealing with. Okay, so these are number 19. Just pop them off. Like I said, I marked the hoses up so I know what's what and what's going to go back. I think I've only done this once before, so I'm definitely no pro at this. So we'll come back once I pop these off. Okay, so right now we're on our 3 hoses we just removed from, that's one. This one goes to that first one, and this one goes into the center. So what just fell into my oil bucket is one of the 3 bolts. So now I just took these off. These are T45s, star keys. We're gonna take all of these out, throw them on our Fisher cover here so we don't lose anything. And now we're going to lift the motor out, pop her on a bench somewhere, and tear it down. Alright guys, so we got those 3 bolts out, and doesn't really seem like there's much to this at all. Once you pop that back plastic cover off, and it looks like it's just a power harness. Just kind of push it through. Hang on to it so she don't fall out on you. And then just let her drain out. Don't get snagged. And let's get her over to the bench. And we'll get started on a teardown. So there's 4 bolts that hold the bottom can down. So carefully make sure if they're completely rotted or not. So carefully pop those 4 bolts off. And then I used a razor blade and I started working the seam a little bit. And then just slowly, I don't want to dig in there because I'm pretty sure there's a gasket in there. And just work it slowly and slowly. Rotate it, move it around. And just pop that can right off. That's why we got a rag under there. The fluid color looks actually pretty good. And this is what I wanted to get to, guys. It was the screen. As I read on the forums that if you're having any type of hang-ups or freezes on one of your pumps, if not all of them, that these screens tend to gum up and you end up having issues with them. So we're going to give her a good cleanup and all of this. And it looks like it's got some kind of like a gasket sealant, not even a gasket. Clean up some of this salt, and there's an O-ring right there, guys, so be careful. Alright, we're going to give this thing a good cleaning. We're going to clean this whole case up. Think of it, we're going to use some POR 15. If you guys don't know what that is, you should definitely look into it. It's this rusting capacitor. Like, this thing is pretty much like liquid bulletproof, the guy called it when we picked it up. I've used it a couple of times before. If you're going to spray it, just make sure you use a junk spray gun or clean it right away, as that thing will completely destroy it. So there's a O-ring gasket right here on the side of it. So we're going to clean up all this gunk around it. Alright, so we're getting ready to do the POR 15. You really can't even see. But this is what the can looks like. And if you don't seal it correctly, that's what it'll look like. So when I was shaking the can, I felt some fluid still inside of it, so I drilled a couple of holes. And I poured it into this cup here. Now I'm going to use a brush. So a couple of things. You want to be careful with this stuff if you guys use it. Like I said, they nicknamed this stuff liquid bulletproof. So here's our can. We primed it right now. Put a little piece of tape over the model number. But I put some tape over the screw holes. Now you guys want to be careful with this, because if you get it on there, good luck. You're probably going to have to re-thread it, because this stuff is not forgiving when it comes to that, or you're going to have to grind it off. So normally I would spray this, but I don't have a throwaway gun left, and I don't want to make a mess. We're not going for aesthetics. We're going for protection. You're not even going to see this thing. It's going to be covered up underneath the plastic cover. So I'll finish this part up, and we'll get back to it. Okay, as I was saying, there's a O-ring right here on the corner. So you guys want to be careful when you're cleaning that up. Right over here. So we're going to scrape this all off and probably use some gear oil RTV to reseal it all back up, considering there is no gasket for this stuff. So we'll clean it up, and we'll get to the next step.